Do you ever wonder what it's like to be stalked by a wild beast? What about hunting them out there in the wild? Well, wonder no more, because in Primitive Era 10,000 BC, we're gonna experience just that. What is going on, everybody? Today we're gonna be looking at Primitive Era, and we're gonna be going over some of the best aspects and the things that I really enjoy so far. Now, one of the first things that I take a look at is just the overall look of the game, how the overworld looks, the map, your huts and things of that nature. And when I'm looking at it, it actually looks very, very nice. You can see that there's like people walking around and whatnot, and what that does is that it makes it seem more alive. It makes it seem like there's actually things going on instead of just a random building that's just sitting there doing nothing. So that's a nice little touch that does not go unnoticed. Now, as far as the layout, that's one of the first things that I see, because you can actually go ahead and move things however you want to place them. And then, of course, that's going to give you the opportunity of setting up your camp however you like. So whether you want to put things in a specific manner or in a specific place, like maybe you want to put all your warring things in the left hand side and then all your like resource production on your right. However it is that you wanted, you can have it in this game, so it's not like predetermined, like, okay, you gotta put this building in this square, then that's all you can do. So that's very much appreciated. And at the moment, I can actually make more room by clearing some of this stuff out. So there's even more space that I can actually make here. Another nice little touch that I notice is that, let's say that, you know, moving buildings around or decorating, if you will, is not your thing. Maybe that's too overwhelming for you. What I found out that you can do that can benefit quite a lot of you is, if you just don't know what's going on and you were just placing buildings randomly all over the place, kind of like how I did, it has this quick layout button on the bottom right hand side, and what that does is it just randomly puts the buildings in a specific pattern and puts them all kind of together with other buildings that are the same. And what it does is it turned my mess of a layout into a more, shall we say, respectable looking one. So you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and hit OK on that, because this definitely looks a lot better. And so the layout of inside your village looks really good. What about the overworld? Well, let's take a look at that. So the overworld, you have the same kind of sprites and things like that, which is nice. And then of course you have the monsters that you can actually hunt for experience, for your heroes and whatnot. And they'll be different in levels, in different types of monsters that you can hunt. You can actually also gather. So there's a lot of things going on here in the overworld. Of course, you have other people that are going to be there that will either be in your guild helping you or your enemy. So that's something that you have to also keep in mind. And then of course, the biggest thing here is that right smack in the middle of the map, you have the Paradise Oasis, and I imagine that this is what's going to be the biggest prize once this shield goes down. That's where the fight is really going to be, so that's really, really interesting to watch that unfold here soon. So the overworld looks cool. It has everything that you need: farming, monster hunting, etc. So overall, the presentation of the game looks really, really solid. Another thing I like to mention is that you also do have VIP benefits here. And of course, the more you log in, the more you'll be able to get. And this VIP buffs will be free, as long as you can go ahead and get some of these extra levels. And then the more levels that you get, you'll see here that you're going to be getting more boosts. Generally, the first few levels, it's more for gathering and stuff like that. But that's perfect, because at the beginning, when you're starting out, that's the best thing that you can do. It's making sure that you get enough resources to keep your construction going, your research going, and all of that. So VIP is very nice to get because the bonuses are going to be great. So this is one of the things that I would suggest you focus on early on. Now earlier we touched on the layout of the buildings and whatnot, but what about the buildings themselves? Well, we have a variety of buildings. Of course, you have laborer hut, that's kind of for your population, that'll be able to build things for you and do other things. So keeping your population high is very important. And then of course you have the cavalry camp, archery range, and the infantry barracks, and this is where you're going to be training your troops. And let me tell you about these troops and how they look, because listen, they look pretty dang awesome. So as you level up these buildings, you're going to be able to get higher level troops. And I mean, just look at the troops that these monsters are riding. Like, look at that. This is insanely awesome looking. Like, look at that. If I ever saw that coming at me, I'm not fighting that. And then of course you have archery. Let me show y'all what y'all working with the archer, right? You start with your regular archers. Now they're getting a little bit crazy, and then look at this. And then the infantry, the savages, if you will. Look at their weapons and the armor just get progressively heavier and heavier until you get this monster, the armored gladiator. So of course, if you want to get there, you want to make sure that you keep leveling up your buildings, keep going with your research and all of that good stuff, because those are the troops that you want to have there at the end. So you have that, you have your research, and let's actually take a look at the research. So of course the research, you'll have village development, which again early on is probably the best thing that you want to focus on, because when you're starting out, you're going to be doing a lot of construction, a lot of research, and you're going to need a lot of resources. So village development lives up to its name. It's one of the things that you for sure want to focus on. And then once you get to a decent level, then you can start worrying about like more of the warring aspect and whatnot. But first, I would suggest you prepare for the war instead of jumping into it without the research to back you up. So, pro tip: get your village in order before you start warring. And of course, we can't talk about troops without also talking about the heroes. When you're going into battle or when you're defending, not only are your troops going to be the ones defending you, but you also have some heroes. Now, first of all, if you actually go ahead and take a look at the heroes here, these are the ones that I currently have. But if you take a look at battle, it'll show you the ones that are meant for battles. And then growth, these are the ones that are meant more for helping you with your resource management and things of that nature. So when you're picking your hero, make sure that you're picking according to what it is that you need. Also, you can go over here and go to the Heroes Lodge, and this is where you can actually recruit more heroes. So if I go over to the recruit heroes, you'll see that I have a legendary recruit. I have a free recruit for the day. So let me go ahead and get that free recruit and see if we get a really good one. Let's see. We get a blue hero, and that is going to be Magic Mountain Horace. Of course, these heroes will have skills, and you'll have things that you have to read and go over and see how you can best use them, because the more heroes you have, the more skills that are gonna be at your disposal, and therefore you can try to min-max as far as your heroes and your troops and your resources, because that's all going to be part of the plan. Now, also keep in mind that you are guaranteed a legendary hero every 30 legendary recruitment. Now for me it's 20 because I've already done 10, but just keep that in mind. Every 30 legendary recruitments that you do, you will get a legendary hero. Also, there is a 7-day login event right here that once I get to the 7th day, which I actually am on the 4th right now, you'll get White Lion Murin, which is a legendary hero. So all you gotta do is log in for 7 days and you're already gonna have a legendary hero, and who knows, maybe you'll get even more depending on your role. So if you are not already doing that, make sure that you do that. Get to that 7th day, unlock that legendary hero, and you're gonna be on your way. Now, with all of that being said, let's say that you are you're making sure that you have your constructions going, your research going, but what if you ever don't know, like, what should you actually be working on? What is the one thing that you need help with? The game has a great way to actually steer you in the right direction. Actually, really two. So you have these things here, that's the solo missions, and this will tell you, like, okay, unlock this, get one of these items, upgrade weapon stance to level 8, which I'm gonna do right here, right? It says upgrade weapon stance to level 8. Mine's only level 2, so that's exactly what I'm gonna be working on. I know that now. I should probably get that to level 8. What else should I work on? Upgrade Chief's Hall to level 9. And this is the next thing. If you ever go to your Chief's Hall, this is like your main building. This is the one that it matters most. You go to upgrade, and then it'll tell you, okay, you need more resources, you need these buildings to be a specific level. And so if you're ever lost, just follow the Chief's Hall and try to upgrade it. And if you can't upgrade it, that's what you should be working on. And of course, with a game like this, there is going to be a clan, and with the clan, that's going to be more of the social side of things, the ones that are going to be able to help you with the wars, with the rallies. Especially here, you'll see if there's any ongoing rallies that you can go ahead and join, or that you're being rallied. So something to keep in mind. You can actually help your guildmates actually finish their constructions and research quicker, so that's a great help as well. And then you can help with the research of the guild, which is also very good, because everyone would benefit from that. So there's a lot of different things that you can do with a guild that you can take part of, but the biggest thing, right, is the social aspect to it. Because with a game like this, being social, getting to know the people that you're working together with, that you have a common goal, that's one of the biggest things, because that'll keep you striving to get better, to improve your account, to improve the guild. That way, collectively, everybody can do better. So if you are not in a clan, make sure that you do so, because that's going to make your gameplay that much better. And now that we're in the overworld, we have the giant warthog here, and as you can tell, this is actually going to be giving me resources and hero experience. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'll go ahead and march. And of course, my march is 26 seconds because my research is not really the best right now since we just started. And as you can see, if I try to speed it up, it tells you research fast march to speed up. So this is something that your research is really important, not just for warring and your resources, but also for hunting monsters out in the overworld. Now when you do that, you can go over to the mail and go down to where it says Wild Creatures Battle Report, and that'll give you a nice little breakdown of everything that happened in that battle, what your heroes did, what skills were used, and all of that good stuff. So if you're ever wondering how a battle went down, this will give you a great breakdown of if you need to improve on anything, or if the monster did really well. So it's a great way to get all the information that you need in order to succeed. Now, one of the last things I want to touch on is always check the events page, because this is where a lot of the events are going to be going on, and you should be able to take advantage of them because it comes with great rewards. Like, for instance, that 7-day login, that's definitely one of the biggest things that you should take advantage of. But you also have things like Infinite Challenge that'll make you, either village construction or research, etc. And then Rules of Survival, also really nice to take advantage of. And you also want to take advantage of these clan gifts, because like I mentioned, being in a clan comes with its perks, and these gifts will be able to give you some speed ups and resources and things of that nature. So make sure that you're taking advantage of everything that the game has to offer, whether that's hunting, gathering, upgrading your buildings, researching, hero level ups, all of it. It's all part of the experience. And once you get started improving everything, your village, your research, your heroes, it's going to feel so good to take a look back and see where you started to where you end up. So if you haven't already, make sure that you download Primitive Era. It's going to be down in the description and linked down in the comment section. But yeah, let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. Appreciate you guys for coming through, and until later, bye.